All right, we're going to do a walkthrough. This coloring book. By the end of this coloring book, you guys are going to understand how I scalp the markets with high probabilities. So we're going to let me get my drawing tool real quick. All right, we're going to put a 1 here, a 2 here. We're going to do a 3 down here, and we're going to do a 4 over here. So if you have no idea what we're doing or you need a refresher, now would be your time to be paying attention. Just so you can see how we use all these tools to our advantage day in and day out. This first chart right here is called butter. So we're going to put a butter symbol there. This one is Beast Mode Boogie. I just want to write Boogie. This one down here is Spy Crusher. And this is our institutional levels. So on number 1 here, we got 3 sets of rules that we use. We're going to do 1, 2, 3. We're going to have momentum, mom, shift. Second would be arrows. And third would be line color. So what exactly do you mean by this? So number 1 would be the star. You see where it says SPTT Shogun. You see down arrows. I try to make it as simple as I can. Down arrows means put. Up arrows mean calls. When we get a down arrow, we call that a momentum shift to the downside. When we get an up arrow, we call that a momentum shift to the upside. All right. Why this system is so powerful is when we get a momentum shift to the downside, rule number 2 would be the color of these arrows. In the down arrows, we take our first red arrow. So if you come up right up here, from this point right here over, the first red arrow would be right here. So we would actually take puts right here, have a stop out right here, and have a take profit there. And guess what happens? Hits our target. This is about an 80% probability, not for one specific trade, but for the course of a week or 2 weeks or a month. So over the long haul, we know that when a signal presents itself, we have either an 80% chance to win that trade or a 20% chance to lose that trade. Knowing that you have a 20% chance that it could be a loser, we do not win every single trade. So you must use proper risk management with any trade that you take. And that's why we preach risk management every single day, right? So when we get the momentum shift to the downside, we take that first red arrow. We get a momentum shift to the upside.
Let me make sure I'm off a speaker.
We take this first blue arrow. Our first blue arrow was really right there, but just for teaching purposes, for you to understand, when this box is grayed out like this is pre-market. We can't trade options until it comes to this area right here. So when we get a momentum shift to the upside, price goes up, falls back down, comes up. You see this first blue arrow. We took calls right here live together. Here was our stop out. We measure our move. We come up, and here would be our take profit. 80% chance for us to win this trade, and look what happens. We got it today. So if you traded just this system for a whole week straight, you'd have a very, very high probability to sell out for profits at the end of the week. And that's why we trade that. So this system's called Beast Mode Butter. You could be like 3 sets of rules. Momentum shift to the downside. You take your first red arrow in a downtrend, and the line's red. When you get a momentum shift to the upside, you take your first blue arrow on a blue line to the upside. And that's as easy as it is. Every arrow that prints after that, from statistically or probability standpoint, it becomes weaker and weaker. So you do not necessarily, you don't want to take the second, third, fourth, and fifth one. In an extreme trending day, whether it's up or down, you're going to get every arrow that goes on to be a winner. But over the long haul, we know that the probability of the second, third, fourth, and fifth arrow is less likely to play out in your favor. So why would you even want to trade them, right? That's just my opinion on it, and that's how I trade it. So this is Beast Mode Butter. You could be like, well, maybe Brandon's just showing that today because he won today, right? So we're going to go back and look at yesterday, and we'll see what we have here, and we'll see how we played out. So we come into the markets yesterday, right? Let me erase some of these things down here at the bottom right here. We come into the markets yesterday. We were looking for our first Momentum shift is to the downside. So what are we looking for? We're looking for our first red arrow. Well, guess what happens? We never got our first red arrow, right? Now momentum shift switch to the upside. That happens sometimes. So we don't ever chase anything. We wait for this to print. We wait for us to get our first red arrow. We don't get that. Now we wait for our first blue arrow. So we'll fast forward like we're waiting. We got a red arrow. We did not get a blue arrow. Oh, what do you see right there? You may be like, well, I don't want to chase this. Well, I'm taking it because I know that if you take calls here and you put a stop out, give or take down here, and you put your 1-to-1 up here, I know that over the long haul, you have an 80% chance for this to push up in your favor. So I'll take 80% every day of the week. So now let's see what happens. 1 minute goes by. We're in profits. Now we're not. Now we're in profits. Now we're not. Staying idle. Now we get an expansion push up. And look what happens. So what we say here, when we take this trade, when it becomes to about 70% of your line, so I have this line about 75, this thing hit about 60, 63. So I'm off by about 12 cents. That's okay with me. I'm looking to be consistently profitable. So I'll tell the team, move your stop from down here to about right here if you want to hold it until it gets up there. And then look what happens. Boom, takes off, hits your target. So you could have held that trade for that whole time, or you could have put a trail stop in when you hit 75% to your target, and look what happens. You got a winning trade. So now we're done to the call side. We wait for the momentum shift to turn to the downside. Let me zoom back in, and this is yesterday. So now we wait for us to get a momentum shift to the downside. We get one right here. We don't know what's going to happen. We'll see when we get our first red arrow. Is that one right here? Yep. Look what happened. See how this red arrow prints? Along with this momentum shift, you would have taken your puts right here. You'd have put your stop out right here. We don't know if this is going to bounce and become a loser, but we do know with high probabilities, 80% of the time, we're going to come down here to our take profit. You put a trail stop. Look what happens. You guys see that? Easy winner right there. Easy winner right there. You guys see that? So yesterday you would have went 2-0. This system, I only trade up until 12 o'clock because after 12 o'clock, the market tends to not move as fast and give me those quick impulse moves that I like. So I only trade this, and the strength of us trading this is up until 12 o'clock. 12 o'clock noon Central Time. So that is Beast Mode Butter. And if you guys have any questions, just please wait till the end. Keep all your questions, and we'll address them. So that is Beast Mode Butter. We'll give the room back their chart here. We're getting a momentum shift to the downside. We're getting a turbo arrow down. Oh, yeah. So these light blue arrows, we call these turbo arrows, right? So what are these turbo arrows exactly? The turbo arrows, if we get a momentum shift to the upside, you could take this light blue arrow, and you typically get large moves in your favor. When you get a momentum shift to the downside and you get turbo arrow down, you typically will get a large move to the downside in your favor. So that's just another way for us to get another entry based off this system. So like here, we got a momentum shift to the downside, and look at the large move that follows through on that. And it's very rare that it happens. So when it does happen, right here, guess what? It'd be a loser. You got this down arrow, nothing that you could do, and then it went against you. So that would be a loser, and I'm sharing that purposely because we don't win every single trade. You know, here's an up arrow. You're going to get a lot of expansion in your favor to the upside. Here's a down arrow. You're going to get a lot of expansion to the downside. Doesn't play out right here. Once it broke this structure, I would have cut it if I was taking that trade. But the strength of what we do is we try to get two winning trades, one SPY for the day, and we'll go walk away, right? So that's just what we do. Patterns repeat themselves over and over again, and it's called trading made easy. That's what you see us hashtag a lot of the times. So that's Beast Mode Butter. That's our sets of rules, 80% probability, and that's what we do. I'm going to erase all this because we walked through Beast Mode Butter, this first chart, and then now we're going to move to number 2, which is Beast Mode Boogie, which this is a fan favorite as well. This has 2 sets of rules, right? 1, 2. You got a smart price line, and you got an orange and orange we call environment line. So we're just going to do environment. So anytime that this orange line is below, this is the smart price line. When candles are below it, it's red, and when candles are above it, you see how it turns green. So this is how easy and simple this system is to keep you on the correct side. When our orange line is below our smart price line, we expect to get trends to the downside, right? And then once this gets broken, we start trending to the upside. This will be our call entry. Look what happens on SPY. Once this gets broken, we're probably going to start trending back to the downside, but I wouldn't take nothing until we got underneath this smart price line, right? And that's how we stay on the edge a lot more times than not. So if we zoom in here, coming into the morning, where do you see price? We expect to get bullish moves when price closes above our smart price line. We expect to get large moves up because it's above the smart price line and our orange line. When price is below our orange line and smart price line, we expect to get nice moves to the downside, right? Does that make sense? And it's that easy. You could be like, man, there's no way that that's all that they do. I'm telling you, it is that easy. So what happens is once we take our calls right here out the gate, it pushes up, right? Then price, we want price to fall, get underneath our orange line. When price is between our orange line and our smart price line, this is the no man's zone. And we look for, this is a textbook re-entry. We have for price to break the orange line to the downside in a bullish market and then put a little bottom in, cycle back up. We take our calls here. It should take this structure out. Look what happened right there. So if you're putting a stop in right here and you're holding this up here for a structure break, look at your risk to reward. 1-to-1, 2-to-1, right? I always come up here and put a 1-to-1. At the 1-to-1, you should be risk-free. You should not take a loss on that trade. That's just my opinion, though. My goal as a trader, like I said, you hear me say, I like to be consistently profitable. So I like to scalp trades. So I like to be in the trades. If you put $1,000 in this trade right here, and at this point price comes up here, that could be an easy $200 or $300 in 1 and 2 minutes. You get 2 of these a day where you're making $200 or $300. Now you're making $400 to $600 a day. You only need $350 or $360 on average per trading day to hit 6 figures at the end of the year. So to me, you can make 6 figures trading part-time. And that's my goal. I like to be in and out of the market as fast as I can. That's what we do here daily. So you could be like, well, maybe Brandon's just showing us beast mode boogie because it played out so perfectly today, right? We'll show you another re-entry. We come down here, we get a re-entry right here. Here would be our stop. We failed not to close underneath that. We come, or no, I'm sorry. Where was our entry at? Yeah, it was right here. It was right here, and then our 1-to-1 was about right here, and look what happens. Price came up, came very close to our 1-to-1. You put a risk-free trade in right here, look what happens. Boom! Got another winner off that. So you actually got 3 winners on Beast Mode Boogie as of right now within an hour and a half. So let's go back to yesterday and see how this played out yesterday. Same kind of setup. Look what happens. We expected to take puts. We expected to take puts if we close underneath this orange line. 1 minute candle printed, and we closed above it. We all took calls here yesterday in the room with confidence, and our stop out would have been if price reversed on us and closed back underneath that orange line. Look what happened. You got expansion to the upside. What's the odds? 80% probability that happens. So it happens a lot more than it doesn't, right? So that's why we use it as a filter. Price comes up, and we don't get a re-entry. Price falls. We re-enter again here. Here's our stop out. Here's our 1-to-1. Guess what happens? Price comes right up to our 1-to-1. There's a nice, easy little 10, 15% winner. You go into risk-free trade, and then you're done. Price falls back down, gets back above it. You get another re-entry right here. And here's your stop out. Here's your 1-to-1. Look what happens. Price then flushes up. When trades like this, when you put a trail stop in and you get continuation, which happens a lot of the time, you're very happy. You know what I'm saying? And this gives us the advantage over time, and that's how we trade. If you took this re-entry and you put a stop right there, guess what? That candle would have closed you out. Nothing that you could do about that because we do lose. That's why you must use proper risk management when you take trades. But over the long haul, we'll come back in another day. Look at this. coming into the market. Candle closed below the orange line and smart price line. We all took puts right here. We got a nice big winner. We got a re-entry right here, and we took puts. We got stopped out for a loss. So we got one big winner, one minor loser. So we're 1-1 on the day, but we're still in profits, but not much at that point. Then we get above everything here. We take calls right here. Look what happens. Now we're back on the winning side. Price falls, re-enters again. You take your calls here. Here's your stop out. Price expands in your favor again. I'm sorry, here would be your stop out. Here's your 1-to-1. You put a trail stop in at that point. Look what happens. See how easy that is? Now you just got one good winner, one loser because we do lose, two winners, three winners. You got three winners and one loser, and you're sitting in profits for the day. And that's Beast Mode Boogie. Price then comes down, gets back up again. We take calls here. Here's our stop out. Here's our 1-to-1. Look what happens right here. You see that? Another winning trade. Price comes up, falls against us. We think we're losing. This is our stop out. Did we close below our stop out level? No, we didn't. Look what happens. Boom. Shaking right up to the upside. Price then falls underneath it, gets back above it. Here would be your stop out. Here would be your 1-to-1. You put a trail in right there. Look what happens. Boom. Shakes right up. You see that? That's how easy Beast Mode Boogie is. Keeps you on the correct side of expansion a lot more times than it doesn't. And that's how we make money. So when you pair System 1 and System 2 together and you try to get your two winning trades, that typically happens pretty frequently. So now we're going to come here and give the room back the Beast Mode Boogie chart. If we get underneath this smart price line, there's a potential that we may continue to push down, right? From a probability standpoint. Does it mean it has to? Absolutely not. But more times than not, if it's underneath the orange line and the smart price line, you'll get movement to the downside. Like right here. Let me zoom over. So when price gets underneath everything here, look at the expansion that you get to the downside. You get a re-entry here, you get another move down. You get a re-entry here, you get another move down. You get a re-entry here, you get another move down. You get another re-entry here. Oh, you get a re-entry here, there's a winner. You get a re-entry here, guess what? There's a loser. A lot of times when you take that losing trade, price then typically, or the trend typically reverses, and there's nothing that you can do about that. Because in the end, the market's going to do what it wants to do. There's not any single one of us. We can't be like, well, this is what we hope it's going to do. In the end, the market will always do what it wants to do. We just got to respect it, and we have highly probable areas of where we want to get into the trade. So speaking of our Beast Mode butter system, what happened right here? See how we got this momentum shift to the downside? First red arrow in the downtrend, you would have taken your puts here. Here would have been your stop out. Here would have been your 1-to-1. Did that come right down to your 1-to-1 or very close to it? Put a 1 in the box if you would have got a winning trade off that right there. In 2 minutes. 2 minutes. Make sure you guys are paying attention. All right. I see 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. I got a lot of ones. There we go. I know you guys are up. Now we know about Beast Mode Boogie. So now we're going to go down here to number 3, Spy Crusher. So now you know how we trade Beast Mode Butter, signal based. We got Beast Mode Boogie, signal based. You got Beast Mode Boogie, Beast Mode Butter, 2 signal based systems that we follow. And then you come down here to the Spy Crusher. Well, what the heck is Spy Crusher, you say? As you see, all these charts are on 1 minute time frames. The Beast Mode or the Spy Crushers are all on 15-minute time frames, right? Do you see that? 15-minute time frames. So when you trade, right, Spy Crusher and use it as a filter, and you go in trend of these signals up here, we call that a gimme trade. We call that a gimme trade. What does that mean? Give me my money. So you have a super high probability to get a lot of winning trades on that specific signal when you trade in sync of the Spy Crusher. Why would you be taking puts on Spy today when we're in an uptrend on Spy Crusher? Look at the expansion that you got to the upside. You see that today? Why would you even want to short that? I don't. I'm a trend trader. I'm a scalper. I scalp in sync of the trend. If I would have known that this was a tippy top, I would have bought my calls down here and sold it out right there. Unfortunately, I do not know where the exact tops or bottoms are going to be. We got areas where we think where it could go. But that's why we create a plan. Once it hits our profit targets, we then go in risk-free trades, right? So that's Beast Mode Butter. That's Beast Mode Boogie. You come down here to Spy Crusher. Spy Crusher is a trend on the 15-minute chart. When you get a down arrow on a red candle, that's trending down. When you get an up arrow on a green candle, that's trending up. When you get a down arrow on a red candle, that's down. When you get an up arrow on a green candle, the trend is up. When you get an up arrow on a red candle, you need two things to happen. One, two, you need an arrow and you need the color of the candle, color candle. Both those things must happen. You need both those to happen. So if you get a down arrow on a green candle, that's still in an uptrend. And, right, based off our criteria, we need two things to happen. So let me try to find some examples of where that would be. Yesterday would give us a perfect example. All right, look at this. You see how we got this down arrow on a green candle? You guys see that? Right? We're still trending up until we get that down arrow. We got to wait for our first red candle to print. Right here, we are now in a downtrend because we got our down arrow plus we got a red candle right there. Look what happened at the end of the day. You see that? Right? So that's a perfect example. So you need two things to happen for us to trade in trend. And that's why Spy Crusher is very powerful. When you mix Spy Crusher, right? So like right here, we're in a downtrend. We were taking puts. Why would you want to take calls in this strong move down? I wouldn't, right? Then here, I'd be flipping over and taking scalp trades to the call side. I'd still be taking scalp trades to the call side. I'd still have a stop out if it fails where my structure's at. But right here, I'd then be taking scalps to the downside. Here, I'd be taking scalps to the upside. You come to the next day. Let's look at the next day. I'll be taking calls all through this. Then I'll be taking puts through that. Then we got the Fed, the wacky meeting. So then we go on a put trade after the Fed announced, right? And I'd be shorting it only if we got signals. And look what happens. We got nice moves down, right? Then you come into the next day. We're bullish all day long. We're taking call trades all day long. Then here we take put trades if you like to trade all day long. Make sure you're trading in sync of the Spy Crusher. And then today comes in. What's our trend on Spy Crusher? We're trending in the upside, right? Why did this call trade right here play out a lot larger than this put trade right here? Because Spy Crusher is in an uptrend still, right? Is that starting to make sense? So that's how we use System 1, System 2, and System 3 all in sync together. So it keeps us on the correct side. Some of my biggest losses were when I didn't respect my stops and I went against the Spy Crusher. So it's very hard for me to go against Spy Crusher anymore. I don't like to. I do not like to. Then we come over here to system number 4. You come here to system number 4. You see all these crazy levels, right? So I put this on a 30-minute chart. When price falls down and you get a large move up, I put a level here. I did not put a level right there because I had previous levels from previous data, and that's where all these lines are from. We call them institutional levels. So the theory is that if price closes above this level, it's going to the next level. If we close above this level, we're going to the next level. If we close below this level or start pushing underneath this level, we're going down to this level. If we fail this level, we're going to go to this level. If we fail this level, we're going to go to this level, put a bottom in, reverse, we're going back to this level, then we're going to this level, then we're going to this level, right? So we keep this up in the room just to see where price is potentially going. So we come into today. We see how price got back above this level. We talked about price potentially coming up here to 442.89. Where did price come up to? Did it come up here to 442.89 from down here? Yep. And then we broke this level. We expect to go to this level, 443.91. 443.91 is right at my cursor. Why did we reject right here where my cursor's at? Do you guys see that? Why did we reject right there? We had a huge level on our 30-minute chart. The things are not random, right? Things are not random. They constantly repeat themselves. So then we failed there. We knew that we're coming down here to this next level, 443.45, which is right here. Once we got underneath it, we're going right down to the next level. Then we bounce. We should have came up to this level, which we did not. We tried to, and then it got rejected. We're underneath this level. And if we stay pushing underneath this level, 442.91, right where price is at, there's a potential it may come all the way back down to this level, right? We don't know if that's going to happen, but that's our logic on it. Yesterday, we get above this level, we go to the next one. We get above this level, we go to the next one. We get above this level, we go to the next one, and look what happens. Keep on pushing up. Then we finally break this level to the downside. Where do you think we're going? We're either going to this level, or this level. Look what happens. We fell right down to this level. So that's the difference of holding your trade for about, that's a whole dollar down. So when you're in a put trade and you see that we're underneath the level, there's a potential we may go all the way back down to a previous level, right? You guys see that? That is how easy it is. That's how we take 1, 2, 3, and 4, and we align them together. So I'm going to erase this. And then our last little secret that we have is our swing trading chart. What exactly, how do we swing trade with confidence? Someone give me a random symbol. Someone put its random, all right, V. That's the first symbol in the box. We're going to go V, right? So we're going to clear all these lines. And we're going to see what happens. And this is our theory on our swing trade chart. We use two things. We use the alligator. If price is underneath the alligator, we expect bearish trends. And if price is above the alligator, we expect bullish trends. But we have the Beast Mode breakout tool, which helps us. So if we're in an uptrend, we take our first green box, and then we reset, green box, reset, green box, green box. If we're in a downtrend, we're taking our first red box, reset, another red box, reset, right? So that is how easy that is. Let's walk through it together. I need someone to keep track of our statistics. If you just traded Visa for the whole year, so we're going to go all the way back here, and we're going to wait. This is what we're looking for right here. We want price to get above the alligator, right? And if our breakout is green, we could take calls, and we'd expect to get expansion to the upside. I don't understand why it's being weird like that. All right, there we go. So we would take some calls here, and you get expansion. I'm going to say winner. If price breaks the alligator to the downside, and this is red, if it reverses back to the upside and gets back above our alligator, that's going to be our ultimate stop out. But more so or not, you're going to see how powerful this system is. I don't like going in. Let me just try to zoom in just a little. There we go. All right, so we're going to start here. And I don't know what happened over there for us to get our first red dot. So we got to wait for our first signal that we get. We take calls right here. Look what happens. 2 days. Who wants to be the counter? Kim, you want to count for me or no? Someone who wants to count and keep track of the statistics. Let's see. All right, Kiana, you got it. So when I say there's a winner, that's 1. If we say it's a loser, there's 2. All right. So we got this trade right here. We take calls. It plays out in our favor over the next couple days. There's 1 winner. Now we wait for a reset right here. Nothing happens. We're now back below the alligator. We take puts right here. 2 days, we get expansion in our favor. There's another winner. So now we got 2 winners. Then we wait for a reset. Then we take puts again, but we don't get no put entry, right? We get back above our lines. We take calls right here. Look at the expansion that you get up. Now there's another winner, right? Then we get a reset. We take calls right here. Over the next 2 days, price moved about $4. There's another winner. We wait for a reset. We take calls again here. Look what happens the next day. 212 hits a high of 214.50. There is there's another winner. We get a reset. We take calls right here. Expansion then pushes up to the upside. There's another winner. We get a reset. We take calls right here. And look what happens. There's another winner. We get a reset. We take calls here. Next day, we get expansion in our favor. There's another winner. We then get a reset. And then we get underneath our alligator. We take puts. Next day, there's another winner. We get a reset. We take puts again right here. There's another winner. Then we get a reset. And now we're back above the gator. We take calls here. And And let's see, the next day's high is 110.13. So you get about the close is 209.25. Hit a high of 210.13. It's about $1 move to the upside. I don't know if you classify that a winner or not. But the next day you get a high of 210.65. So that is about $1 move in your favor. That's enough to take profits. There's another winner. Then we get a reset. We take calls here, and then we close underneath. Or no, we don't, because it closed right there. We're still in this. But then we close right here for a loss. There would be our first loss. Then we take puts right here. Next day, we gap down about $2, 204.60 to 203. So about $1.50. There's room to take profits. There's another winner. Then we wait for a reset. We get back above our gator lines. We take calls right here. There's another winner. We get a reset. We take calls right here. There's another winner. We get a reset. We don't get anything. We get puts. Let's see. Where'd this close at? 206.90. This low is 206.23. This low is 208.86. 208.86. 208. Or no, what did the low go? 205.78, and this close was 206.90. So in 4 days, we got $1 move down. There's a chance for you to take some profits on that trade. There's another winner. Then we wait for a reset. We get back above our lines right here. We take calls 1, 2, 3 days. We get out for a winner. We're just going to classify that. I mean, if you don't think $1 is great, in the end, that'll be a hairy one. So we'll count that as a loss. Then we get a reset. We take calls. There's a winner. We get another reset. We take calls here. Goes up to be another winner. We get a reset. We take puts here. And then we close back above our lines. Guess what? That's a loss. So there's a loss. Then we take calls right here. 2 days. We get out for a winner. There's a winner. We get a reset. We take calls here. There's another winner. We get a reset. We take calls right here. There's another winner. We get a reset. We take calls right here. There's another winner. We get a reset. We take calls here. There's another winner. We get a reset. We take calls right here. There's another winner. We get a reset. We take calls right here. There's another winner. We get a reset. We take calls right there. There's another winner. We get a reset. We take calls right here. There's another winner. We get a reset. We take calls right here. There's another winner. We get a reset. We take calls here. There's another winner. We get a reset, but now we're underneath our gator, and then we get the next day we get stopped out for a loss. So there's a loss. Then you take calls. There's another winner. Then we wait for a reset. We're underneath our gator. We take puts right here. Next day goes out, gaps down. There's another winner. Then we get a reset. We take puts right there. Next day we get out for a winner. Then we wait for a reset. We take puts right here. And then over the course of 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 days, it goes on to pay us. There's another winner. Then we get a reset. You can take another position right here. There's a winner. Then you get a reset. You take puts right here. There's another winner. Depending on where this closes, we may get an entry today. Kiana, what was our advantage there? All the winners and losers that we had. Put it in the chat box for us. Kiana, 33 winners and 4 losers. Did you count that hairy loss that we had? Did you count for that hairy loss and one of those losers? Gotcha. So really, it was 33 and 3, but we're just going to add that loser in, or it'd be 34 and 3, but we're going to go 33 and 4, because if it moves $1 in your favor, you're capturing your full delta basically. So that's a winner in my books, right? So what's the advantage that we have right there? 33 winners divided by 4 losers. So 33 plus 4 is 37. What's our probability? 89% probability. Let me ask you guys all a question before we sum up our session. If you knew that you had a 90% probability, could you swing trade Visa for the rest of your life with high confidence? Put a 1 in the box if you would feel comfortable. Put a 2 in the box if you would not feel comfortable. All right. So I see everybody put ones. Hey, I'm gonna have to put a one in the box as well. One. So let's see. We got let's go back and see if we did 34 winners and 3 losses. 34 divided by 37. Now you got almost a 92% probability. So you're either winning 90% or 92%. So to me, since I know we're going to get a lot of entries, I'm just looking to be consistently profitable. So you guys all put ones in there. That's the method to our madness. Every time that we take a trade, we have an advantage that we feel. I will not take a trade if I see this number right here. If I see 85 or less, I won't take that trade. So I have a watch list that has stocks that are about 92, 93. My highest one is about 90, a 97% win rate. Excuse me. So when that gives us a swing trade, you best believe I'll be taking that one. You know what I'm saying? So that's the method of our madness here that we do. That's how I scalp the markets when I day trade and I swing trade scalp. We call it trading made easy, and that's what we do over the long haul. So we feel that we have the advantage over the long haul. But anything out of this session that I want you to get, I want you to understand that any trade that you take, you must trade your plan. You must respect your stops. But most importantly, you must use proper risk management. If you do not use proper risk management, no offense, but you're probably not going to be here with us too much longer. And I want every single one of you guys to be here with us for the long haul. Right? So out of this whole tape, you could be like, I love how Brandon trades. I don't love how Brandon trades. Hey, what do we say? Trade your plan and plan your trade, or plan your trade and trade your plan, right? Use proper risk management. With that being said, that concludes our session today. I'm going to open it up. Does anybody have any questions about anything? If anybody asks how you get the tools, before you go on with that, I only give this to my private mentorship students. So if that's something that interests you, please reach out. But we trade as a team Monday through Friday each day. Exactly what you saw today, the same tools that you see. We trade this. We go live every day at 9:25 a.m. Eastern time, right before the market opens. So like I said, if that interests you, just reach on out. We'll get you squared away. But other than that, does anybody have any questions? You can either come on the mic or you can throw it in the chat box.
We reach out to you on Discord. How?
You can either Facebook me. My name's Brandon Harbaugh. I'll put it in the chat box. Or you can message me on Discord. I'm Brandon from Beast Mode on Discord. Either or works.
Thanks.
Anybody have any questions? Let me know.
Yeah, I have a question. Was I one of the people that you really want in your room for the long term? Was I included in that list?
Well, I mean, we always need a bully, so you're in it for the long haul with us. You know?
There he goes, folks, pulling the bully card again. Pulling
Come
the
on,
bully
Jerry.
card.
Come on, Jerry. But hey, if there's no other questions, we're going to cut the recording. I appreciate you guys for your time. Oh yeah, last but not least, our Amazon hack. We'll talk about that real quick. Every Friday, right? Every Friday, Amazon has a high probability to fall about 10 points or greater. If it falls 7 or 8 points, to me, that's a good area to go into a risk-free trade, right? So this morning, where did this opening price happen at, right? 34.02. It fell down here to 33.93. So that's about a 9-point drop. Just because it did not fall and hit the 10-point drop, we got a lot of us took some winners on this real quick, real fast, and it played out again. Did not play out like it normally does. Normally it'll flush down 10, 20, 30, 40 points. But when I back tested this, I found that the 10-point drop on days that it was going to bounce, it might have fell 9 or 10 points and then bounced, kind of what you're seeing today. Now it's probably going to make me look like I'm a liar because it's going to roll over here and fall 40 or 50 points. But nonetheless, it typically happens real fast in the mornings, right? So how I trade it is if price is opening up at 34.02, the 3,400 puts would be right at the money. I normally go about 10 points out, which is 1 or 2 strikes out of the money, because my expectations of it falling 10 points or greater would then put me at the money. And the sweet spot for me is risking 500 to 700 bucks per contract, and then putting a trail stop in once I'm in profits. Now this morning, it happened in 1 minute. So this isn't for a newbie per se, because I could be in and out of a trade in about 6 or 7 seconds, right? So today was one of the faster trades, but you go back and look at last week, Friday, Thursday, Wednesday, Tuesday, Monday, go figure. Let me go back 10 days. So what was last Friday? Last Friday was the 17th. So let's scroll back and see the 17th. Was this the 17th? That's the 20th. So we go to the next day. All right. What do we know? 9/17. Let me ask you something. If Amazon's price opened here, 34.88, my line was at 34.78. Did it drop 10 points or did it not? Right? Do you see that? It dropped 10 points. Easy money. Even though it continued on to drop a lot more, you'd have to hold it for a lot greater. Since it's a lotto trade, I'm a scalper. I'm looking to get my quick bag, and I'm out of that trade. Last week, I think I made $1,000 on this trade. Just trading either 2 or 3 contracts. I forget. You see how easy that is? And that's the Amazon hack. It happens every Friday. Every Friday this year, it fell 8 to 10 points or more. We haven't lost one yet this Friday. But keep in mind, it might only happen in that first minute or 2 minutes. But then sometimes you're going to see it happen like this, where it drops 40 or 50 points. You know what I mean? That doesn't always happen right there. So you got to keep that. You got to keep that in mind, right? So today was no different. Let me ask you something. If it opened up at 34.02, it should have fell to 92, right? Which was right here, 92 right here at this line. My line's a little bit off, that first one. And it came within not even $1 of our line. Is that a winner or is that a loser? To me, that's a winner. Easy money. Easy money. So every Friday, if you'd like to take a lotto trade, that'd be the move right there. But other than that, I'm cutting the recording. I appreciate you guys and your time. Is your class for newbie option traders? Yeah, I got a YouTube channel. So if you do not know how to buy a stock option, let me know, and I'll get you squared away. Also, it's also in our server. So just reach out. I'll get you squared away on our YouTube channel. But I appreciate all you guys. Until next time, I'll see you guys on next Friday. All right.